Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is Ted Fletcher from FMS Integration, and I wanted to spend a few minutes to cover a couple examples of documenting communication settings to field devices. So one of the things that we've learned over the years is sometimes documentation was created up front during the project, but never maintained over the years. Having to reference multiple documents in order to get that connection information that you need, or the notorious there is no connection information, which then always leaves you in the stuck situation of trying to figure out how a device was programmed, trying to reverse engineer the comms in order to then update a device and replace the device. So at FMS we decided to implement the best of both worlds, to where we use spreadsheet data on new site turnups or system surveys, and then we're able to link that data to shape data within Visio. That way someone can click on a device and get a visual representation of what is going on with that device from the comm side. So that being said, let's open up an example of a spreadsheet. So here you can see we have lots of columns and rows. Columns being the specific data types, where it's location, device type, device name, manufacturer, model, serial tag. And then as I go across, you can see we tried to cover everything, whether it's Ethernet communications or serial communications. But anytime moving throughout a spreadsheet, it can sometimes get overwhelming on the eyes when you're trying to search through. So then you're filtering cells, collapsing columns, trying to go through to get that information that you need. So we've learned and started utilizing taking the Excel data and uploading it into Visio. That way we can actually bind this row of data to a shape within Visio, so someone can just click on that actual device on a drawing and then see what all the connection information is. So that being said, I'm going to collapse this, open up my Visio. Here's an example of a system communications drawing and layout. So multiple tabs across the bottom. I'm going to come to Data Hall 1. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit on this upper left quadrant. So now that we're zoomed in on that, I'm going to grab on the right hand side, because I've already uploaded that spreadsheet data and linked it. So you can see everything showing coming across. And then from this view, if you're using the actual application software of Visio, you can actually come up to View, Task Panes, Shape Data. Right now the window is blank, but then if I click on this wireless gateway unit, you can see I have all my information called out in that Shape Data window. So then if I click on the air handler, we got all the connection information for that. Our power distribution unit, remote power panel, and temperature sensor. I click and close on this. You can also navigate easily throughout the system to find different parts of data. So let's say if I wanted to find this remote power panel down here, if I click on it, you can see it highlighted around. But then if I wanted to find out more data, like how it's actually set up in a communication riser, double click again, and it'll actually bring you to the communication riser and then shows it being highlighted there. Then same, you can always go task pane, bring up that window, and then you can see all the specific data that was entered in on that device. So depending on your facility, if you use an Office 365, you can also view it from a browser. Open up a browser, go to this Visio doc online. Depending on how many tabs worth of data you have set up, this sometimes can take several seconds to load and process through. So once you stop seeing the processing on the top, then you see the same tabs coming across the bottom. So we'll go to Data Hall 1. So here, I'm going to just click within the inside, hold Control, zoom in with my thumb wheel on my mouse. Then if you come to the upper right, you can click Shape Info. Click on that shape. And then you can see it all called out on the right hand side. They do set a limitation from the browser-based Visio, which is a light version of Visio. You can't do full configuration with it. But if you just hover over the name, if it's being cut off, you'll see it display the full name. Better example is going up to like a PDU. So these are just a couple of the methods that we like to deploy. That way you have the best of both worlds. Someone can reference spreadsheet data when doing communication updates, and then also be able to link it to Visio to where then you have an easy way to navigate around to actually find that information versus digging through spreadsheets. We understand that not all facilities are created the same way. So if this is something that you would like to deploy at your facility, please feel free to reach out and contact us, and we'd be glad to talk to you to see if this would be a viable solution to help update your documentation for all those communication settings. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a great day.